Today on the channel, I have the all-new, fully redesigned 2024 Ford Ranger top-of-the-line Lariat, and we're gonna get into it today. It's the Ford friggin' Ranger, y'all. I don't wanna get demonetized. Welcome back. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris, and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Before I begin today's video, as always, please don't forget to like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. Any and all support helps the channel, so thank you so much. Yes, well, we are in the 5th generation of the iconic Ford Ranger. It started in 1983 as a much more compact, less capable truck, whereas now in the 5th generation, we have a ton of capability. It's been fully redesigned for the 2024 year, and it's kind of about time because the last generation had been around for quite some time. The all-new Ford Ranger comes in 3 different trim levels, starting around $34,000 for the XL model. This is the top-of-the-line Lariat that starts around $45,000. The Lariat also comes with the Sport Appearance package, including the 18-inch machined wheels and the all-terrain tires. Since we're over here and you can see the fuel door, we'll talk about EPA ratings. For the 4-cylinder, you can get around 21 in the city and 25 on the highway, which isn't all that bad. The side step bars are an option and they cost around $700, but they can also be included in the 4x4 off-roading package. Because this has the Sport Appearance package, this is a separate standalone feature. Now, the box step-up bars, those are a $215 option that insert themselves into the back of the box that you can easily step up into the bed with. So, the Ford Ranger comes in 2 different powertrains, starting with this one, which is the 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that outputs 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque that's then tied to a 10-speed automatic transmission. It comes in either rear-wheel drive or this one, which is a 4x4 drivetrain. Or, if that's not enough power for you, you can opt for the twin-turbocharged 2.7-liter EcoBoost 6-cylinder engine that outputs 315 horsepower. From now on, the Ford Rangers only come in one style, which is the crew cab and the short box bed. Now, this bed is about 5 feet in length, and with the 4x4, it only has a payload capacity of 1,700 pounds, but with the rear-wheel drive, it has a payload capacity of around 1,800 pounds. It does also have a soft open tailgate, which is pretty much the norm for this segment at this point. But what I found to be a really interesting feature is this bed extender. Now, this is about a $300 to $325 option, and it will use the full length of the bed that you can put whatever you need to, and it will not fall out while you're driving. That's pretty nifty. This one also does come with a 120-volt plug in the back, and I'm looking at 6 hooks in the back. This one also does have the OEM spray bed liner, which I think is about $1,200. I'll confirm that down below. Finally, the max towing capacity for the Ford Ranger is 7,500 pounds, which is pretty par for the course for this segment. All right, let's talk design language. Now, they definitely made this a brand new truck, but there are still some design cues that you can find coming from the last generation. Now, I think the most obvious to me is the front grille. The only difference is that they extended the headlamps to kind of go in congruence with the front grille, and I really like the way that it looks. Now, these are the full performance LED headlamps with the cornering lights. I really like the two-tone color nature on it, and I just really like the way that it looks, especially with these hood. I really like the way that the hood looks. Honestly, I think that the side profile and the back end of the Ford Ranger look most like the outgoing generation, especially just in the way that the overall shape looks on the side profile, mimics the outgoing generation to a T. And the back end also mimics it, especially in the backlight tail design that kind of looks like the last generation, and then of course the embossed Ranger logo on the back. But I feel like this Ford logo is a lot bigger than the last one. All right, finally in from the scorching heat in the 2024 Ford Ranger Lariat. Now, the biggest change that was made to the Ranger was the interior, and you can absolutely 110% tell. Every single Ranger comes with a digital gauge cluster and a fully digital infotainment system. The difference is that the base model gets an 8-inch digital display for the gauge cluster and a 10-inch digital display for the infotainment system. Meanwhile, this Lariat comes with a 12.4-inch digital gauge cluster that's a little bit bigger and the massive vertical 12.4-inch infotainment screen. The mini F-150 motif kind of follows suit on the interior as well. You can tell, especially in just the little things like the door releases. Now, the F-150 isn't the only one that has that. The Expedition does also have that, but it's just very indicative of the fact that these automakers are trying to kind of like have a design language throughout that is like very throughout the entirety of all of their products. This one also has a secondary glove box in the dashboard that you probably wouldn't have known if you weren't knowing what you were looking for. But it's actually pretty deep, and then there's also some cargo capacity in there, and then of course there is a standard glove box. The steering wheel is perfect. It's got real actual buttons or physical buttons. The gauge cluster itself, not very customizable, but it does show a lot more information than some of the other Ford products that I've reviewed recently, like say the Corsair Lincoln. I really like the way that it's laid out. Again, it's very Ford F-150 in the kind of gears that it shows for the RPM and the miles per hour. It does also come with pitch and roll and some other off-road goodies as well to kind of showcase that. Now, when you get into the different drive modes, you do have to click it over twice to even activate one of the drive modes. They use a similar style graphics that the Ford Mustang uses to showcase the different drive modes, and I think it's really cool. Let's talk about the infotainment system. The infotainment system is the bigger 12.4-inch infotainment system, and I gotta say, even though there are a lot of physical buttons in here, the majority of the car's controls are located in the infotainment system. There's a laundry list of things that you can control within here. Now, of course, you are going to be controlling that stuff when you are parked, and it is very customizable, which that I do enjoy. But it is just there's a lot going on in this infotainment system. The other thing is that the climate control system is kind of redundant. There are all of the same climate control features in the infotainment system as there are in physical buttons. So I think that they at least heard customers and found that they wanted physical climate control buttons, which is a good thing, but there are no physical heated seat buttons or heated steering wheel buttons, which is not really the best thing, it's fine, but again, compared to some other Ford products that I've had recently, this is probably the fastest and least laggy of all of the Sync 4A technologies, but it's still a little bit laggy, although I will say that the 360-degree camera is very good, and it's very useful, especially in tight parking situations. It's very good. But yeah, let's go to the back. So, do I have space back here? In the headroom department, not really. I kind of have to slouch a little bit, not that comfortable. The seats themselves are decently comfortable, but I will say that the front seats, much more comfortable than the back seats, and much more comfortable than my outgoing truck. There is a little bit of an indent here for some legs, and this person would probably have to move forward, but anyways, let's talk about some more capability. When I first got this truck, I saw this little strap right here and said, oh, okay, so there's gonna be a lot of storage down here. That's not the truth. There is a little bit of storage down here, and then there is some roadside assistance stuff, but I was a little dismayed. I was like, people are going to want to put like luggage and stuff back here, and that's what I use this part of my Colorado for, and I was a little dismayed. But then I looked online and found that there was this one, and this opens it up for a lot of storage in the back. Pretty decent. I don't know what the number is, but I'll put it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, and I'll see you on the driving portion. See ya! Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these three options. Right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These three. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.